that they're selling today across everything that they're selling? The iOS, right? They're not selling an iPhone. They're selling a phone with an iOS. They're not selling an iPad. They're selling a tablet with an iOS inside. They're not selling an iWatch. They're selling a watch with an iOS inside. And in fact, if you put an iOS into a table, it can become an iTable at the end of the day. This is the power of focus on how Apple has become one of the grandest companies of all time because they know where to focus their efforts. One big thing, make a good name out of it, and try hard making a legacy out of it. When Steve Jobs was asked the question, Steve, what is one thing you're very proud of in Apple that you think has made you grand today? And he says, I am as proud of what we don't do as I am with what we do. Deciding what not to do is as important as deciding what to do. At the end of the day, guys, it's a question, it's the moral lesson of not the volume or the quantity of the things that you do, but the quality of the things that you do at the end of the day. I don't care if you've emailed 1,000 clients for your business. If they're not supposed to be the same people you're emailing because they're the wrong people to target, everything becomes irrelevant. And this is the value of working smart and not hard. It all goes back to the power of focus. I'm going to end this short talk with this. And this is one of my favorite stories of all time, which Mr. Tony Fernandez taught me one day when I was inside his private jet. He has his own Starbucks, how do you call this, barista, by the way, in his own private jet. He has his own Wi-Fi and all these things. And he told me the story. In 1993, Delta Airlines of United States had a cabin crew member who questioned the management and said, "Boss, why is it that we have this lettuce on the entrees of passengers? And I don't think these passengers are actually eating it. And in fact, because they don't eat it, they end up rotting inside the garbage trash, the plastic trash. And because we keep it that way for the entire duration of the flight, it easily rots and makes the plane smell bad. So may I suggest, since it doesn't do any value anyway, can we take out the lettuce and serve this entree as it is?" Obviously, the management was surprised. As a tradition, they've been doing this for many, many years. And so they said, we can't change this. And even the French chefs who were doing this said, we can't change a certain tradition. But management was open-minded enough to consider that suggestion from a cabin crew member. And so they did it. And for the first 3 months that they took out the lettuce, either the passengers did not notice that the lettuce was gone, or a lot of them even thought that the plate looked cleaner. And so the management said, wow, the plan is working. Let's continue it for another year. And so after continuing it for another year, they saved 1.4 million US dollars. Imagine just by taking out the lettuce from the plates of their passengers. What is the moral lesson here, guys? The moral lesson here is just like Delta Airlines, a lot of us here in this room believe that there are so many important things that we have to do, but really they are not important at all. And that we need to learn how to let them go so we can focus on the more important ones. And so my challenge and assignment to all of you guys, do you have some lettuce in your life that you can let go? Remember, for every no that you say, it gains you a yes to something else. And that something else must be the most productive thing that can lead you for success in life. It can be someone, it can be something, I don't know. But you need to learn, as the song goes, how to let it go. And that's the only way how you have the power of focus. If you recall, way back in 2013, and Season 2 is coming up this March for application, by the way. You just need to be 19 years old and has an Asian passport if you want to join. If you look back in 2013 when I won this competition, if you look at how all the contestants managed to compete with each other, I don't think I was the smartest guy. I don't think, remember, I was the youngest contestant among the males who had the least experience. Majority of my competitors were already business executives, owners of their own companies, and I was so insecure because I had less to offer on the table. But the reason why I think I won, not just because I wanted it so bad, not just because I was gritty, as I would say in the book, but because I had my eyes on the prize and I focused on one simple thing. I'm going to give you one admission. Before I joined Apprentice Asia, I didn't know who Mr. Tony Fernandez was. I'm sure a lot of you also didn't. He only became popular because of this show and when AirAsia was launched in the Philippines in 2013. And so what I did was, as any person would want to do to know more about another person, is I stalked him on YouTube. I've seen all interviews of Mr. Tony Fernandez, those 34 video interviews, and in every interview I realized that there was a pattern. In every interview, he mentions the word passion and accountability 5 to 6 times. He mentions the word youth and leadership 2 to 3 times. And for all these reasons, I realized that these were the qualities that he was looking for a candidate. Those were the things that I focused on for the rest of the competition and for the rest of the boardroom. You may not have seen it in the boardroom, but a boardroom episode is usually 8 hours to shoot. You only see 15 minutes of that on TV. But in all those scenarios where I had to talk and I had to shout out something to Mr. Tony Fernandez, I had my eyes on those 2 qualities that Mr. Tony Fernandez was looking for. I have the power of focus. And so I ask you guys, when you go look at your to-do list tonight, tomorrow, for next week or next month, or you look at your vision, you look at what you want to happen for your life in the next 5 or 10 years. Ask yourself, are you spreading yourselves too thin on so many things that in the end, you overestimate your power to accomplish them? Because in the end, at the end of the day, you're only designed to accomplish 2 to 3 things, or even 1 powerful thing. And that's the power of focus. The power of being able to know how to say no and when to say no when you can. So thank you for listening. That's it for my talk. And I'd just like to invite you guys, by the way, if you are, because my agents are here, if you're also interested, I will be doing a course in people management and team development on December 10 and 11 at Astoria Plaza. And here are the numbers and the reservation if you're interested. I'm skipping this part for most of the talk because I'd like to give more space for Q&A. And a lot of you guys already sent me your questions even on Facebook. So I'd like to answer them. So thank you, and I hope you do find your own grid.